it was very daunting to start with. I didn't really know what was going on. I had sort of various symptoms that got progressively worse over a 7-week period that then ended up me being admitted to hospital completely paralysed from the waist down. So it was just so scary and overwhelming, and at that point it was probably the most vulnerable I've ever felt in my whole life, because just not being able to move at all and having always looked after myself, I found it, you know, really hard to sort of get my head round. And then I spent 2 weeks in hospital and I was on steroids for 6 months. And they said originally 99% sure it's MS, and then they changed their mind just before I left hospital. So during the following year, I had lots of different tests. I then had a second episode where they said definitely, clinically, there's no doubt now that it is definitely MS. And then 3 months later, I had another episode. So I had 3 quite disabling episodes within an 18-month period, which meant that I was at least able to get the diagnosis and also get onto the disease-modifying drugs, the medication to prevent it. Touch wood, not had an episode since I've been on that, but I started coming here at the same time that I started my medication as well. So, you know, it's probably a combination of lots of things, but finding this place has kind of been a lifesaver really for me, being able to come here every week, and it just helps me manage my symptoms so effectively that it's just so worthwhile coming.
And they usually say a postcode lottery whether you can get treatment and drugs on the NHS is a bit of a lottery win here, that you're
very
for
I mean, I do feel very lucky that I've got the diagnosis, because it not only means that I can have, you know, the medication and the care from the NHS, but it does mean that I can access everything here as well, which is just, you know, fantastic really. I didn't think that I particularly suffered with fatigue until I'd been coming here for about 1.5 years, and I missed 3 weeks of oxygen therapy, and I just felt horrendous. I felt like I'd been run over. I could barely even, you know, cook a dinner in the evening because I just had no energy to even stand. And, you know, having oxygen once a week, it just really enables me to focus on lots of other things to help. So I do quite a bit of exercise, and I like to cook from scratch, and just without having the oxygen, I wouldn't be able to do those things in my life, which really help my symptoms and, you know, the management of my MS day to day.
And I guess it's, one, there's no cure yet. 2, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I guess a place like this, at least exercise and all the things they do here does positively make a big difference. Yeah,
and personally, I found that actually having MS has improved my life. I don't see it as a negative really at all. I sort of take my health seriously now. I gave up smoking, you know, really changed my diet, do regular exercise, and I never did any of that before my diagnosis, and it actually makes me feel in control of my MS, being able to do all of those things. And I wouldn't be able to do those things without coming here and having the oxygen. But just everything that they provide here, you know, it's just brilliant for people like me, knowing as well that there's somewhere that I can come and have, you know, counselling, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, because lots of that stuff I wouldn't be able to actually get on the NHS, because especially physio, they look at me and they say there's nothing wrong with you. But, you know, knowing that I could access services here is just fantastic, really.
And I guess you don't feel lonely, and you're the only one. Everyone here.
And I quite like it that I come here and I can talk to different people who've got MS, and, you know, we can share stories about medication and tips on how to manage things. And it's actually really helpful to have that time where it's just about MS, because then I feel for the rest of my life it doesn't sort of overtake everything else, and I can go away from here and feel like me without the MS being like a, you know, clouding everything, but it is here that makes me able to do that, I think, to be honest. So it's it's just a really great place.